Stone Soup by Heather Forrest, illustrated by Susan Gabber. There was once a comfortable little village nestled in the mountains. The people who lived there had more than enough to keep themselves content. One day, two travelers came along. Their coats were tattered, their hats were torn, their dusty shoes had holes in their soles. Hungry and tired, one traveler said to the other, "Surely somebody here can spare a bit of food." You would think so, huh? Let's see what happens. They knocked boldly on a door, and it creaked open, and a woman asked, "What do you want?" "Please," said one of the travelers, "we are hungry. Do you care? Will you share? Do you have any food?" The woman squinted her eyes tartly and replied, "No." She quickly slammed the door shut. Well, that's not very neighborly, is it? The travelers walked a little further down the road and knocked on another door. A young boy answered. His chocolate brown eyes were sweet. "Good day," he said shyly. "What do you want?" "Please," said one of the travelers, "we are hungry. Do you care? Will you share? Do you have any food?" The boy replied, "There's no food here," and closed the door. Oh man, I wonder what these travelers are going to do. The travelers wandered wearily through the village, knocking on every door, but everywhere they heard, "I don't care, we don't share, there is no food." They sat to rest beside a well. One traveler sighed and clutched his empty belly, and he said, "There's really no food in this elegant little village. Then the people who live here are in greater need than we are. We should make them our magical soup." Magical soup. The two travelers climbed up on the edge of the well and shouted, "We're master cooks. If anyone in this town has a big black pot, we'll make the most delicious soup anyone ever tasted." I wonder if they're right. Let's see. A door slowly opened, and a round man emerged carrying a gigantic black pot. "I love to eat," he said. "Here's a pot. Let's see what you two master cooks can do with it." "Watch and see," said one traveler with glee. Glee means he's really happy. The travelers filled the pot with cold water and built a fire. Soon the flames licked the sides of the pot, and billows of steam rose into the air. Curious people began to gather. "What's happening?" townspeople asked. They're making, oh, I'm sorry, "We're making an unusual soup," said one of the travelers. "It requires special magic ingredient. I'm certain we will find it in this town." Wonder what that special magic ingredient is. All the eyes in the crowd watched as one of the travelers reached down and picked up an ordinary stone. He tossed it into the pot with a splash. "Bonk. We're making stone soup," he said. "It'll be nutritious, delicious, incredible, and edible. But it would taste better," he paused and sighed, "if we only had a carrot." Probably would taste better if you had a carrot. "Where will we find a carrot in this town?" the other traveler asked. "We knocked on every door. Everywhere we heard, 'I don't care, I don't share. There's no food.'" and perhaps we cannot make this delicious soup after all, they both announced with a sad shrug of their shoulders and began to turn away. A child timidly raised her hand and said, "Wait, I might have a small carrot." "Then share it, carrot." "Excellent," shouted the travelers. "Bring what you got. Put it in the pot. We're making stone soup. This magical soup would taste even better if we had a potato," they added. A deep voice in the back of the crowd called, "I have a potato." "Wonderful," shouted the travelers. "Bring what you got. Put it in the pot. We're making stone soup." "Tastes still better," they said, "if we had a few more ingredients." There's all sorts of good things you could put in stone soup. Here's some ideas right here. "Perhaps," said one of the villagers, "I could bring a green bean." "Well," said another, "if you're going to bring a green bean, I'll bring a kernel of corn." "I shall not be outdone," cried another. "I will bring an egg noodle." One by one, voices announced, "I'll bring a slice of celery." "I'll bring a pinch of pepper." "I can bring a sprig of celery." "I might even have a tiny turnip." "Well, why are you waiting?" cried the travelers. "Bring what you got. Put it in the pot. We're making stone soup." Making stone soup. Everyone in town ran home to bring one small thing and put it in the pot. Food flew through the air and landed with splashes in the growing soup. Soon the huge pot was full and simmering, and a wonderful smell drifted through the air. Look at all that stuff. There's peppers and broccoli, turnips and beets, carrots and cauliflower, and cucumbers and radishes, and squash and green beans and regular beans and potatoes and kale and celery and peppers and onions. There's all sorts of stuff going into this soup. The smell was so tempting, people brought out bowls and spoons and chairs and tables, and they placed hearty loaves of bread, chunks of cheese, bowls of fruit on the tablecloth. Everyone came to taste the soup and marveled at the flavor. "It's amazing," said one woman. "These two travelers made such delicious soup out of a stone." "Out of a stone," said the travelers with a grin, "and a magical ingredient, sharing. Because sharing is caring." All the travelers left, I'm sorry, as the travelers left the town, they said, "If anyone ever wants to make this soup again, just remember the recipe. Bring what you got, put it in a pot. Every bit counts, from the largest to the least. Together we can celebrate a stone soup feast." And then right back here, how to make your own stone soup. And there's the ingredients right there. It says one large stock pot, a group of friends, one stone the size of an egg, 2 quarts of water, 1 quart tomato juice, several carrots, an onion, a couple of potatoes, a couple stalks of celery, a cup of peas, a couple corn kernels, a tomato, a bunch of green beans, little pieces of broccoli, little piece of cauliflower, a quarter cup of uncooked pasta, table salt, a quarter teaspoon of pepper, a loaf of bread, and sharing. So then it gives you the ingredients right here. Stone soup. That's a good one.